Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today, we are going to be doing another Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 video, and today, we are going to be talking about level adjustment and everything associated with, so racial hit dice, ECL, or effective character level, all that good fun stuff. Yeah, so let's get into this. So, basically, some races have they're stronger than others. So they are going to have sometimes a level adjustment, sometimes racial hit dice, sometimes both. And basically what this does is this is going to affect your character in a lot of ways. This will all these things will increase your ECL or effective character level. So let's first talk about your effective character level, which this is going to be the level that you are. So whatever your ECL is, this is your level. In terms of where you're at experience-wise, like if your ECL is 20, you're a 20th level character for experience. Once you level up, you'll go to an ECL 21. So yeah, when you're leveling up your ECL, which generally adds class levels, but racial hit dice and level adjustments can mess with that. First, before we even get into level adjustments, let's talk about racial hit dice, because racial hit dice are a little bit. Let's start out with your basics of class level, which your class level is going to be, well, your class level. So how many levels of fighter do you have? How many levels of wizard do you have? How many levels of rogue? How many levels of you can even throw in prestige classes there too, because they all are the same. They're all class levels. Prestige classes are the same. They function a little bit different for multi-class rules, but we're not going to get into that in this video. We talked about that a little in the last video. There's a few corrections that need made on that, but we'll do that in a later video. But for right now, we're talking about level adjustments. So yeah, so your class levels are all going to add to your ECL. So any class, any prestige class, you just add up all your levels. And that, for most characters who have a simple race like human or anything out of the player's handbook, that's your ECL. It's just your class levels. But if you have a race that's got more complicated stuff going on with it, you're going to have to add in your racial hit dice and your level adjustment to that as well. So racial hit dice are going to work very similarly to class levels. You roll your hit dice. You roll these hit dice, and they apply. They count for whether or not you qualify for feats. They count for like whether or not you get a feat. Like you get a feat every three hit dice, which would include your racial hit dice as well as your hit dice from class levels. So anytime you get a multiple of 3 hit dice, you gain a feat. You also get one at first level. Every time you gain 4 racial hit dice, you gain an ability. One of your abilities goes up by 1 that you get to choose. So this all works nicely. Classes, racial hit dice, they all count for this. Racial hit dice generally aren't going to give you like special things like classes do. Like a lot of the times they'll give you bonus hit. They'll give you hit. So when you get a hit dice, you're also going to get a base attack bonus progression of some kind. You're going to get saves progression of some kind. More often than not, they go with an average base attack bonus, and usually they'll go with something like sometimes bad saves, sometimes good. It really depends on what your race is, but they'll usually tell you. Usually they won't give it in the forms of progression, but you can kind of look at it and see based on it that, oh, this is a good save, this is a bad save. It almost always works out that way. So we can get into exactly how that all works later, but generally it kind of comes out like that. So then, with the topic of the hour, level adjustment. Now, level adjustments are different. Level adjustments are for races that are particularly powerful. These things are things that they do affect your ECL, but you do not gain any you don't gain any sort of hit. You don't gain hit dice, so your HD doesn't go up, which means you're not going to be getting feats as quickly. You're not going to be getting abilities as quickly. So if you had an ECL, level adjustment of 4, for instance, and and 16 levels of fighter. We'll assume no racial hit dice for simplicity. Well, you're a 20th level character, but you only have 16 hit dice, which means you're not counting your fighter bonus feats. I should have picked a different prestige class or a different class, but anyways, you're only going to get 1 feat for first level, and then you're also going, so you're only going to get 1 feat at first level, 2 if you're human. Then you're going to get 1 at third, at 3 hit dice, 6 hit dice, 9 hit dice, 12 hit dice, and 15 hit dice. You will not get 1 for 18th level because you don't have that many hit dice. You only have 16. And you're also only going to be getting 4 ability points because you only have 16 hit dice. You will not get that 5th one. That's just how it is. So level adjustments do hold you back in that regard. They also, make you a level lower for your class progression. Racial hit dice do that as well, but at least they don't hold you back for feat progression and ability score progression. Because all of these things add together. So if you just have nothing but class levels, great. Now, there is an alternate rule in the game. Some DMs will allow this, some won't, where you can actually buy off level adjustments. Now, the rule for buying off level adjustments is, again, it's complicated as well. So basically, in order to buy off a level adjustment, you must first achieve 3 times as many class levels, not racial hit dice. Racial hit dice will not count for this. 3 times as many class levels as you'd have level adjustments. So if you had a +4 level adjustment, you are going to need 12 class levels before you can buy up your first level adjustment. At which point, so this would be at 12 plus 4, 16th level. When you go to level up to level 17, you'd actually level down to level 15 instead. And you'd keep everything exactly the same. You would gain nothing, although your experience points would drop quite a bit. They'd drop down to just barely enough to reach 15th level. And then you would just lower your level adjustment to 3. And then if you wanted to buy that off further, you would need 3 times level adjustment, more class levels. So you would need 9 more, so you would need to reach 21 class levels. Then if you wanted to do it again, you'd have to wait till 2 times 3, and yeah, it progresses quite quickly. So buying off 1 level adjustment, not a big deal. That only requires 3 levels and it puts you back 1. The main reason why you would want to do this is because of the way power leveling works. You would be able to catch up to your party because you would gain more experience, because now you're 2 levels lower than them, even though you're only kind of 1 level lower. Like you didn't lose, like you lost a level, but you are still just as strong as you were when you were a level higher. It's confusing. Yeah, I know. It's really confusing. Leveling down is such a weird concept. But because of that, once you buy it off, you'll start to catch up and gain levels faster and can potentially be stronger. So not a bad option. Some DMs won't allow it. The reason why is once you do catch up, then you're going to be stronger than everybody else, and it makes it seem like it was just kind of stupid to not choose that option. I get the logic, although at the same time, you may or may not ever catch up, and on top of that, you are going to be weaker for a time, and I would never allow that to happen like outside of gameplay. Like I wouldn't say, oh yeah, he bought it off, so now he's starting at a level higher. No, when you're starting, I'm going to start you off a level lower. So like personally, if somebody was like 20th level and had a 3 level adjustment, now they could have that level adjustment bought off by that point. I think, yeah, pretty sure they could just barely have that pulled off with a +3. But what I would say is, no, actually, you don't have it bought off yet. I would tell them that, no, you're actually going to be starting like 6 levels lower. So instead of being a 20th level character, I'm going to make you start off as like a 14th level character, which at that point you wouldn't even be able to buy it off yet. So might even say no, 15th level and level adjustment, and you still have one of the level adjustments that you can buy off later. You know, I'm going to be strict on that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I would do to make it so that there is you know, some consequences for starting off for you know, buying off levels. You're going to be a few levels lower, just how it is. Yeah. So that's kind of how I would personally play it. So those are the rules for level adjustments. I know it's confusing. Hopefully that didn't confuse things even more. If you don't want to play out with level adjustment buy-offs, then the rules are you just add your level adjustments, your racial hit dice, and your class levels all together in order to get your effective character level, or ECL, and that's going to be that. You're just going to have your level you're just going to have that all added together. Now, level adjustments are often not a great thing because, you know, that's going to, same with racial hit dice. They're generally going to put you behind what you would be getting with your class progression. It's particularly bad on casters. It's less bad on martial builds, especially if you have good racial hit dice. But it's still not ideal more often than not. Level adjustments can be problematic. The big advantage of level adjustments is normally when there's a level adjustment, you're normally going to see higher ability scores than normal. So if you have a race that has a high level adjustment, you probably have a lot of bonuses to like all your stats that most races don't get. So that's what you're getting for that level adjustment. Sometimes you get like really good racial abilities as well. You could potentially get a lot of stuff. And usually when there's a high level adjustment, you'll often see some racial hit dice mixed in with it too. So there's that. A lot of them you can actually look at Savage Species, and that'll give you like progression if you wanted to start play at low level. Because when you have like high level adjustments and all that stuff, it's difficult to you know, start off at level 1 usually. It just kind of gets complicated because, you know, there's really no way for you to be level 1. But Savage Species is kind of the way to do it. It's a 3.0 book, so you're going to have to make a few tweaks, but it's a good way to do it. Yeah, so that's what I got to say about level adjustments. Hopefully that helps you guys out. If it didn't, give it a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. I do tons of D&D 3.5 videos. Also, you know, ring that bell for notifications so you never miss one of these videos. But anyways, as always, I'm Mitch, and I'll be seeing you